To the World Cup tournament files. Pretty amazing. And I'm not even a huge football or soccer fan, but this was just an amazing experience for everybody, for all the countries involved, and specifically for the United States of America to host it. The coolest part to me is how now the United States is watching Norway football or soccer. Depends on how we refer to it, right? Personally, I was impressed by the couple that Erling Haaland, I think is how you say it, and his partner, Isabel Haugseng Johansen. So Haugseng, and I am butchering the names, and I'm really sorry. So let's look at their numerology together. How about that? So it's Lori. Welcome to Numerology with Lori. So please like and subscribe and click that bell icon drop down to all because you don't want YouTube to be in charge of telling you what you can watch or what you should watch, that sort of thing. So whatever comes up, then you can easily send it off. You don't have to pay attention to it. So thank you very much. And hey, my calendar has some places. So if you decide you want me to do for you what we're doing here on a broader basis, please be in touch with me. And you can join me through my website, LoriIntuitiveNumerologist.com. So that has a form on it where you can send information to me and then I will email you back. So thank you. Appreciate it. So let's take a look at the destiny number for Erling. Erling Haaland. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And let's start with that one, right? So Erling's destiny number is a 6. That really jazzes me because this makes so much sense to me. It really does. He's a very family and love-oriented person, which you can tell just watching him with the audience and the way he is towards other children or towards children, I shouldn't say other children, towards children and people in general that are his fans. I've seen so many, I don't know, little shorts and little videos of Erlin and the way he interviews is so special. So, and just look at his relationship with his mom and his dad. And they're divorced now, but he gets along with them so well. And his brother and his sister and his half sisters. So that's really pretty amazing. The relationship with his partner, Isabel, has been there for a long time since they were children, which is I say pretty amazing all the time, but it is. I can't help it. They had a baby boy in December of 2024 together. Feels like a lot of younger people, and I don't mean this to be to ridicule. I think it's pretty um, it's a confidence measure when the younger people are having children before they get married because they aren't sure that they're ready to get married, but they know they're ready to have children. That's pretty amazing, right? Oh, I'm gonna try not to say it that much this time. But it sounds like a family and love person to me, which that's Erling. So anyway, Erling's soul number is a 3. So he just had a 6 for his destiny number, which we know is about love and marriage and yeah, all of that. And the 3 number is his soul number. So he's a joyful spirit and he's very creative. He's very communicative soul. So this is his heart's desire. How awesome is that? He's got numerous number 3s in his core numbers, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But suffice it to say that at this point, we know that his soul number is a 3. So here's another number 3, his personality number. That's really interesting. Um, Keep in mind, this is how other people see him. But there's an element of truth to what we see. And we also know that all of the things that have to do with the number three, including the part that we just read about his soul number, these are all very true in his personality as well. So he comes across very engaging, very creative, very talented, and communicative. And that's the way people see him, the way he really is. At least that's what it seems like, right? So guess what? His life path is also a three. Wow. Wow. I'm really jazzed by that. I'm trying to get you just as jazzed because the three is an awesome number to have. And we've seen it before in celebrities that there feels like there's an abundance of threes. In Tom Hiddleston, we just did a numerology on him. And I think Jeremy Allen White, like they all have some form of threes, even if it's just one. But in this particular case, we've got three of them. That's pretty cool. So how cool is this? Yes. I feel like the success he has seen and he continues to see in his career are due to the number threes. Hmm. Is that possible? Well, sure it is. Sure it is. The joy of living, he shows us his ability to communicate successfully. Successfully. He does. Come on. His creative, talented displays just the way he creates a soccer goal by bouncing the ball off of somebody else's head. I mean, ah, yeah. The good news is it will belong to him all his life. I'm sorry. I was looking at what I had to write here. But yes, it will belong. These threes are going to be part of his life the whole time. The whole time. So his maturity number is a nine, is a number nine. And what's interesting is about that is we'll see that Isabella has nines in three of her core numbers. That's fascinating. Fascinating. Because that's something else we've seen in couples that tend to, especially these younger couples that I'm not sure what generation they're in, and I'm sorry for that, but they feel like they have each other's numbers in their cores. So that tells me that they understand each other on some level because otherwise, why would you have it? You wouldn't quite get them if you didn't have a piece of them as a part of you. That's kind of what that comes down to. So yeah, this is for both of them, and they're both very good at closing the deal. Closing the deal. That's what a number nine is about. That ending, finishing, closing the deal. Recognizing the humanitarian side of things. Erling is very lucky to be in a partnership with someone who feels the same way about this as he does. He's a compassionate person, very tolerant, and he believes in a power greater than himself. So do I. I think you do as well. With this number, this all grows. It all of what he's going through in life, it tends to grow. So we have to just wait and see. So anyway, let's see about his pinnacles and challenges. This is a fascinating in this is a fascinating section, I should say. The first pinnacle and challenge are the one pinnacle and a four challenge. So we know his life path number is a three. So we take three from the given number of 36 for numerology, and we get a 33. So his first pinnacle period goes from birth to age about age 33. So this one gives him abilities to lead, ways to start fresh. That's what the one pinnacle is about. And a means to be independent. Because it's in his pinnacle, it's not that difficult for him. He and we know that looking at his childhood, nobody's childhood is easy, let's say. But because it's that growth period, it's just it's I don't want to say that they're difficult, but it is one of the easier pinnacles to have in a one uh in the first pinnacle. So that number one is actually a little bit easier. Oh, and you know what? Before I forget it, let me show you. I wrote up a board for them. So Erling is on the top. Erling and his last name is B-R-A, our middle name, I'm sorry, is B-R-A-U-T. So this was his mother's maiden name. Interesting, isn't it? But that's what's on his birth certificate. Erling brought Holland. I'm sorry. I started also using an opposite color. So if I use the red, I'm using the black for the vowels, so it helps you to see which number is the soul number. I'm trying to use it here and there so that you get an idea of some opposites in there. So yeah, we can see that we calculated his destiny number, his soul number, and his personality number, as well as we got his life path from his birth date, which is here. And then we got the maturity number, which is in his in red, and then his pinnacles, which we're working on right now. They're right here. So the pinnacles on the top, 1, 5, I think it's 6 and 9. Yep. And then the challenge for 1, 3, and 5. So I'm going to leave this here if you'd like to take a screenshot of the top part for Erling. And then once I do Isabel, I'll bring it back up so you can take another screenshot. Okay, thank you. So, okay, so the one, we talked about that, about the independence. The four challenge tells me there may be some struggles getting the work done. But again, keep in mind, this is when this pinnacle runs from birth, from age nothing, 0, until age 33. So you have a long period of time in there to kind of get the gist of this challenge. So being that it's a 4, it makes sense that his early years may have seen a difficulty in the 4, but it's okay. It's okay. So now that he's a little bit older and he's looking to get the work done, he's taking care of business and he's doing it. So the 4 has been there all along. That challenge is present in the first section of the pinnacle and challenge. So being that it's been there since he was born up until age 33, he's kind of gotten used to it. He's gotten used to the whole concept of working hard, which to me, it sure looks like he's doing. Okay, so let's see. Keep in mind it is the first pinnacle. We talked about that. It started when he was a baby. Yes, we talked about that. This tells me that the 4 has been in place since day one. We talked about this. I'm so sorry. And he has excelled at gaining insight into the challenge, which I really think that that's the bottom line here. He's excelled. He's gotten used to working it or having that 4 in place. And as it changes, he might feel different, just different. So we'll talk about that as we get to it. So the second pinnacle and challenge is a 5, and the challenge is a 1. Isn't that interesting? Because he just had a 1 pinnacle. So it just tells me that there's a little bit of difficulty there. So this one starts at about age 33 and goes to about age 42. The number 5 pinnacle is about change, freedom, and adventure. a little bit more, a little bit more than the one. Um, okay, so we can think about that a little bit further, but the promotion can be part of this pinnacle, promotion of self, and which he will probably be doing, promoting himself. Um, Promotion can be part of this pinnacle. Okay, we just talked about that. No hasty decisions. I pulled that. I was looking, was doing some research on the number five pinnacle, and I saw that and I thought, it's important for any of us to know, but in this particular case, having a five pinnacle, it's important for you to know that no hasty decisions. You need to think about what you're going to decide and really give it some thought. What are the pros of this? What are the cons of this? How much is it going to cost me? You know, that sort of thing. So in this particular case, and by cost, I don't mean monetarily. Like what's the possibility of it costing you your reputation? So these are all things to think about in any pinnacle or challenge, but specifically if you have a five, it's important because it is kind of it, it's about change. It's about freedom. It's about adventure. These are all big things that happen in somebody's life that typically we don't know if he's completely ready for it, but it is in the pinnacle space and it does come after the pinnacle one. So that's a positive. Okay. So, um, let's see. The one challenge reminds him to stand up for himself. Isn't that interesting? Because it feels like he was doing that with the one in the pinnacle place. But now it's like things have changed in his life. They're not completely the way they were. He's not growing up with a parent. He's now living in a household with Isabel. He's got a child. So standing up for himself, it looks a little different now, you know? So it's important for him to just not get walked on by people. Now, I can't say that that means Isabel. It could mean people in that are fans, or it could mean people, coaches, or I don't know. But he needs to remember that it's important not to get walked on, not to stand up for himself and to be a confident and to be the confident leader that he was before, if that makes sense. Um, Reminds him to stay true and be confident. Yep, we just talked about that. So now the pinnacle three is a number six, while the challenge is a three. Okay, so this is ages 42 or 43 to about 51, 52-ish. Okay, depending on when he actually started the other pinnacles and challenges. So the number six, the pinnacle number six is about love, marriage, relationships, and we know that's where he's focused anyway because his destiny number is there. So this sixth pinnacle, though there will likely be a marriage at some point, because he has a six going on in his destiny. I don't necessarily feel him waiting until the third pinnacle to get married because that would be age 42 or yeah, 42 or 43. But I feel like this could be a period where he's meant to work on it more. Meant to work at like, okay, they've had it so easy up to this point. Maybe it's time for them to work on the marriage some. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. We should all have that time period. We should all know about that time period. Yeah. Um, so they were likely, okay, now's the time that we'll emphasize the relationship. Yep. And possibly more children. I do see that as a possibility. So it's possible. So let's see. He has the three or the six challenge, but he also has a three um I'm sorry, six pinnacle, but he also has a three challenge. Now that's interesting to me because we know three of his core numbers are three. So he's familiar with what it is to be, to express this joy of living, to have a good communication skills. So it's got to be something where he needs to tone down his own behavior, whether it be for the children, whether it be for his relationship. We're not quite sure. So the three challenge speaks about remembering to speak from the heart. Now, again, this takes me to the fact that this is a six pinnacle. This is involved with love, marriage, relationships. Being that that's the case, maybe he needs to make sure that his heart language comes to his wife, to his children. That could be. Create a loving spirit using creative energy. Yeah, he can do this. He can do this. So it gives me a lot of hope to see that he is, feeling this way. Okay, so then we've got the fourth pinnacle. The fourth pinnacle is the number nine, which I find rather fascinating because we know not only is this a nine, but his maturity number is a nine. Remember that? That his maturity number is? Which tells me that it's possible that these two numbers are happening at the same time. Or this number has maybe begun before, but this will really come into play now. So then he's got the five challenge. Ooh. So the pinnacle number nine is about lifting others, using wisdom and deep and provide you with a deep, loving nature. I like that. I like that a lot, considering this kind of resonates with A, his maturity number, okay, and B, with Isabel's numbers. That's a good positive, I don't know, if it trait to have, you know. Um, let's see. It's a time to mature and understand how to release your emotions and emotional ties to do that's interesting. So if somebody is releasing their emotional ties, it could be maybe somebody is passing on, like a father or a mother. Um, that's the normal scheme of things, and that makes sense. And it also makes sense that, because Erling is so close to his family, this would be difficult for him. But luckily, he's keeping his mother and his father for a long, long time. So let's just hope that if this is what he's going through at this point, he's understanding it and he's learning to have a more humanitarian nature about it. Like, he's learning to accept the changes that are apparent with a nine, which, the changes there can be, it's not like the changes that are apparent in a five. The nine is more calculated. It's more of um it's more of a mature letting go. Again, we talked about these emotional ties. So it's letting go, releasing these emotional ties. We need to think about that. So the five challenge it requires a change, but in the challenge position, this number isn't always easy, but it is a good time to loosen up. It's a very good time to loosen up. And we know that because he has that nine pinnacle, it's possible that that's why he's got the five. Yeah. This suggests taking a risk and being flexible. Being flexible. Yeah. That's where that number five comes in. Number five challenge. This should be a very, very interesting period of time for him, and he'll be in his in 53-ish forward. So this is a long time going forward, even though you and I might think it's not. It is a long time to him. So yeah, let's see how he plays out, and maybe we'll do an update about them later on. So now let's take a look at Isabel's core numbers. And I'm so sorry this is going on a long time, but I really feel like this one is a really fun one, and I'm hoping that you guys will get something out of it. So let's take a look at Isabel's core numbers. The really interesting part is that her destiny number, soul number, and personality number are all nines. Let's take a look at that chart. So here we go here. It's the bottom part. It's Isabel Haugseng Johansen. Johansen. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. She's from Norway. So, and again, I circled all the vowels in the opposite color so that we would get a chance to see exactly what made up the soul number. So over here is her destiny, her soul number, and her personality number. Here is her life path number, and this is the maturity number. And these down here are her pinnacle and challenges. So go ahead and take a look at that. If you need to do a screenshot, take a screenshot of that. I'm sorry I kept this from you for so long. So, so anyway, yeah, let's talk about the fact that we know the nines are pretty much they mean the same thing, you know. Um, in most of these places, they're a slightly bit different. The destiny number can be about um where her life path is going, even though we've got a separate life path number, but it's where she is supposed to go. That's what the destiny number is about. And it's also about the talents that she's providing, she's given. So it is slightly different from the life path number. Um, so let's see, pretty much the same thing. A person who is compassionate, tolerant, charitable, charming, and intuitive. Intuitive. So the nine, interestingly enough, used to be thought of as the number of God. I don't know that it's not thought about that way anymore, but I don't think, you have a specific number that's the number of God. We do have the master number 11, which can be also intuitive. And then the number 33 is thought of as the number of Jesus, because it is said that the 33 is the number Jesus had. I'm not sure about any of this. It's hearsay. So I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I thought I'd pass you that information. So the destiny number is in place for the whole life. It represents her divine purpose. That's the difference in this life, as well as some unique talents. The soul number shows the heart's desire. This is her heart's desire to complete the positive side of the nine. Interesting. And additionally, a creative spirit. The personality number reveals the most positive nature of the number, providing some truth. Some truth. The good news is there are so many nines to draw from. Yeah, she's got a lot. So her life path number is a 1. So here we go. So here's the life path number. So that's her 7/14/2005, and it's a 19. So it adds up to 19. The 1 plus 9 equals 10, and the 1 plus 0 equals 1. So the 1 is her life path number. Okay. So the date adds across to a karmic number 19. The one, and I think I just went over this, and adding up the additional information. So this karmic number is a debt brought from a past life with a need to repay it this time around. So in a past life, there was an abuse of power. The truth is, she likely knew what she was doing. This gets karmic numbers get to be, it really teaches you about yourself because then it helps you to understand why you have certain tendencies today. But she's been given the opportunity here to let go of this need to control. And she may not, she may already not have a need to control. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I wish I knew more about her, but I don't. Um, the truth is she likely knew okay, there was some sort of self-centered behavior going on. The way to beat the karma is to stand up for yourself. Interesting that she should be doing that at the same time that Erling is trying to do that. Mm. So stand on your own, use power well and rightly. Rightly. So use power for the right reasons is really what that means. There needs to be a seeking of assistance and support. So in other words, she can't think she can do it all herself because that just isn't going to cut it for her, you know? So let's see. Isabel may experience situations in this lifetime to teach her independence, how to be considerate of others, and to be more assertive without looking too weak or being too selfish in her pursuits. So it's very important for her to find that balance of the assertiveness. And there are some people, we all know them in this world, who are a little too assertive, that don't allow for another person to have their own point of view, or don't want you to think that your point of view is important. So it's important for her to have that balance between assertiveness and then being too weak, not um standing up for herself and saying, no, 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 that's not the way I think. You know, it's okay for you to have your opinion, but here's mine. That's a little bit different. So the good news is that her maturity number is a true 10, which is good karma. It's very good karma. So yes, it adds to one, and it does, and we'll see that right here. Here's her maturity number. So the maturity number is brought to us by adding together the number 9 in her destiny and the number 1 that's in her life path number. So the 1 plus 9 equals 10, and it does equal a true 10. So the 1 plus 0 equals 1. So the 1 is her maturity number, but it's made of a true good karma 10. Okay. So that just means that she is going to have an opportunity in this lifetime to eliminate the karma from her life. Goodbye, karma. No more karma for her. That's good. That's really good news. And going forward, I'll show you a little bit more of why. She's only 21. And right now, but but through her life experiences, she will grow and mature and to bring herself into an opportunity to end the debt present in this lifetime. It's really good news for her. I'm happy about it. I'm very happy for her. So let's look at the pinnacles and challenges. The pinnacle 1 is a number 3, where the challenge is a number 2. Interestingly enough, this is the same. I'll show you the challenge. The first and the second challenge are the exact same thing. Isn't that interesting? It just means that she learns more in that first challenge. So you figure for her, because her life path is a 1, not many years come off that 36. Not many subtract from the 36. So it's only 36 minus 1 is a 35. So she has this from birth to age 35. So this is her first pinnacle. First pinnacle is the 3, which is terrific because it resonates with Erling. Wonderful, because he's got 3 number 3s in his core numbers. So it's so nice that she has this ability to really relate to him, and she has for a long time. Let's face it, it makes a lot of sense that they met as children when you look at this pinnacle. It just amazes me. So the challenge, okay, so the pinnacle is wonderful for, yes, we talked about that already. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I go on and I start talking about things and it's already written on here. So she really has a joyful way of looking at her life, which is just, it just gives me chills just to think about that. She's a really good communicator and she attracts the good things in life. Very true. Money and happiness. Wow. So the two challenge is a bit on the difficult side. There can be fear. There can be a lack of self-confidence and some timidity. So it's very possible that as a young person, she was a shy girl. Interesting that she should have met Erling when she did, because if it seems like he probably was very outgoing as a child. So if he knew her when she was around him, he gave her lots of joy, lots of hope. He turned her fear into feelings of success and feeling of not being fearful. Um, and then the self-confidence, he turned that back to confidence for her. So, and again, when if she was feeling shy or timid, he took the brunt of what she should have maybe was for her. But he was happy to do it because that's the kind of person he was. So, that's interesting. This can be tough for the first challenge, especially a young child. But this pinnacle and challenge lasts till Isabel is about 35, and we did discuss that. The likelihood of her coming to a place of balance is very high. So the more that she had to deal with it, the more that she learned to be balanced, the more that she figured it out with the two. Because the two is about cooperation, it's about balancing, it's about harmony. So all of these things were not in play until she met Erling. And I'm going to do some more research to see exactly what age that might have been, but we do know as children, that's when they met. So let's look at that. Anyway, her second pinnacle and challenge is the same. The difference is that the two challenge may have been easier to deal with since it was already part of the first pinnacle and challenge. Now, keep in mind, she's only 21, so she's not there yet. So 21, let's see, this goes up to age 35, and then it'll be 35 to about 44. So she was really going to have that first pinnacle and challenge for a long time. But that's really nice because she'll have all that much more time being directly, what's the right word? Just relating well to Erling and his core numbers. So that's good. So yeah, the difference is that they are the same. The difference is that they might be easier to deal with since it's already a part of the first challenge. It goes without saying that the number three pinnacle is a really good one. Oh, the number three pinnacle is a really good one to have. So we just talked about that. Okay. So her third pinnacle and fourth challenge. So her third challenge and her fourth challenge are both zeros, and they take her through the rest of her life. That is fascinating to me because we know that, and I only say this because I'm just not sure, but if there's at least two zeros in challenges, it typically means it could mean that an old soul, but when there's two, I almost guarantee you, I'm 99% sure that that's an old soul. That's pretty amazing. And she's only, oh, good Lord, I'm getting the chills. She's only got this bit of karma about a, and not to say it's to minimize it, but she has that opportunity to fix it. So this abuse of power is in her core numbers, it's in her life path, but her maturity number is the 10, so she gets to work on it and get rid of it. Mm, I just, yeah. So the third pinnacle and challenge is a six and then the zero. So the third pinnacle is a six, zero challenge. We already talked about the zeros. Interestingly, the sixth pinnacle is also in Erling's third pinnacle. The number six, a third pinnacle is also in Erling's. The difference is they are, I turn this page around, 4 years apart in age, and the age of the third pinnacle for Isabel is 44 to 53, while the same pinnacle is age 42 for 50 to 51 for Erling. It seems like they might overlap by about 7 years, if I calculated that correctly. I can never figure that out completely. So maybe you guys could, put something in the comments for me. So this can be a time when they will work on their relationship because the challenge for Isabel is the zero, which means that um, let me see. So it means that she's likely to be an old soul. We know that. We talked about that. And the zero might include all challenges, or it might include none of them. And it's kind of, I hate to say, there's no real rush in her mind to get anything done, but she'll know. She'll know, especially because it's the third and fourth. By that time, she's got some experience under her belt. So she'll know if the she'll know where she needs to be. She'll know that she needs to be working on this power and this abuse. And even though to get a numerology reading done would be amazing. But her karma will give her the right opportunities for pulling into this challenge if she needs to. So, um, yeah, this can be an opportunity for Isabel to initiate her good karma and to release her debt. It could very well be. So, so the fourth pinnacle is a number five. Again, we talked about this because that zero is her challenge. Again, it's up to her. So with the five, because it's her last pinnacle, it kind of starts around the age of 51 and continues on for her. So it will involve some sort of change. She will have to learn to be flexible and not make hasty decisions. There's this hasty decisions again. And it doesn't mean, it just means that when there's a five present, whether it's in the pinnacle place or the challenge place, you need to be aware of your. Now, keep in mind that everyone should always be aware of making hasty decisions, but specifically if you're in a five period, because it can lead to the five can lead you to making hasty decisions because it's like, get this out of the way, boom, end of the story. No, it's not. It can come back to bite you in the butt. So, it will involve some sort of change. Yes, we talked about that. She might have a child in the soccer world, not have a child, a baby, but she might have a child in the soccer world. We don't know. So, as she will be very active, it'll be a very active period of life for her, and she'll be in the public eye more. Isn't that interesting? So, we can only speculate about what that might mean. And we know she's just a 21-year-old girl now. So she's a woman. She's had a child. So I shouldn't say girl, but she's a 21-year-old woman right now. So I'm very happy to see that these two are in a good relationship and enjoying the fruits of their labor. That's wonderful. Are they a power couple? Maybe to a degree. Let's see what happens with them. They can survive life's ups and downs and grow old together. Blessings to all. Thank you so much.